Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Monday and welcome to another Mask Monday. So we are back to reviewing some face masks today. It's been a while since I have uploaded a face mask review. I've been focusing a little bit more on hair masking, mostly in an effort to not add to my current mask collection. But I've been doing a pretty good job of plowing through some of those. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about some Derma E masks, and Derma E does have me on their PR list, so I will periodically get a package with just a couple of things in there for me to try. I really like Derma E as a brand. They are readily available at Ulta stores. They obviously also have a website that you can purchase from, and I think you can also purchase Derma E products from Derm Store. So I will of course link any of these that I can down below. But the last package that they sent me contained three samples of their face masks. Now, they don't sell these in these sample packets, I don't think. I was doing a little bit of research before starting this video, and it looks like right now the only one that I was able to find the full size of was the Derma E Purifying 2-in-1 Charcoal Mask. And then they also have the, I think it's an overnight hydrating mask as well. I'll link that one down below too. I'm very curious to try that one. I really like the hydrating line from Derma E. Even if you're oily like me, look into that line because those products are fantastic. Anyway, I really like Derma E. I think they are a great, affordable, cruelty-free drugstore skincare option, and everything that I've ever tried from them has been a really good product. Like, no matter what it has been, whether it's been their cleansers, their cleansing oil, their moisturizers, their treatments, everything has just worked extremely well for me. So anyway, let's talk about these three masks that they sent over. I'm gonna start with the Purifying 2-in-1 Charcoal Mask. So this one I actually finished last night. You can still kind of see it's a little bit dried on there, but it is definitely like a charcoal. Oh look, there we go. It's a very typical charcoal mask in that it's like dark gray. It does have a few like granular pieces in there, and I think that's the kaolin clay that you might be able to feel. There is apricot seed powder as well as charcoal powder in here. I'm trying to think if there's any other what do you want to call those? Exfoliator type things in here, but I think what I'm seeing mostly that granular texture is probably the apricot seed powder, the charcoal powder, and maybe the kaolin clay just a little bit. But anyway, the first ingredient in this mask is aloe, which really intrigued me. Kaolin is the second, kaolin clay. There's bentonite clay, there's glycerin. Then it goes down the line with the apricot seed powder, the charcoal powder, the bladder wrack. I have trouble with that word because there's like the W and the R together. For some reason I can't ever say that, but there's lots of great ingredients in here. As I mentioned, Derma E is cruelty-free. They don't test on animals. They don't use GMOs in any of their formulations. They're soy-free. But anyway, so this one right here is just a very typical charcoal mask that dries. It was a little bit difficult to remove after the 10 minutes. But what I did notice is that I do feel like it sucked out maybe some excess oil, some sebum, but it didn't overly dry my skin out. It was a really pleasant charcoal mask to use. There are some that can feel a little bit uncomfortable because they maybe pull out too much of that oil, and then when you wash it off, you're left with that really tight, dry feeling. But I feel like because they included the hydrating ingredients in here, like the aloe, the glycerin, it really helps to maybe keep a little bit of that moisture in your skin. So I like this a lot. I think this is a great mask for those of you that have very oily skin, those of you that are maybe breakout prone. Do know that when you use a mask mask that has like a kaolin clay or a bentonite clay in it, there's a good chance that you might break out a few days after using a mask like this, only because it's sort of pulling those breakouts to the surface. You are probably going to get a breakout eventually, but it does sort of help to pull that stuff up and just cause it to erupt so that it can then heal. So that's what I really like about clay masks, is if there is anything that is like lurking underneath the surface, I feel like if I use a clay mask, it's just going to bring it all out. I'm going to get it over with, and then I can move on from there. So it's really nice to do a clay mask. You know, you don't even have to do them once a week. If you do them once every other week, you know, I feel like it's a great way to just move things up and out and kind of get the process over with, get everything healed. And then I notice if I use them long term, I get less and less breakouts the more that I use the clay mask. So this one was really enjoyable. Super gentle exfoliation. Like the granular bits that I'm talking about really are like very, very like fine. They're not scratchy at all. If you have any type of aversion to like a manual or physical exfoliant, maybe this one won't be the best one for you, but I didn't find it aggressive at all. So this one, 2 thumbs up, I like it. I would actually consider purchasing the full size of it. By the way, on the back here, you can see what the full size looks like. So it comes in a squeeze tube. I can't see the amount on there. I don't know how much is in the bottle, but I'm assuming it's the usual like 1.7 or 2 ounces worth of product. And I want to say it's somewhere in the $20 range for the full size. So not bad at all. Okay, now these two I thought were kind of interesting because I couldn't really find them on the Derma E website. So I don't know if these are like new and up and coming masks or what the deal is here, but I thought I'd go ahead and talk about my experience with them anyway. So this is the Derma E Vitamin C Brightening Clay Mask with turmeric and kale. This one was interesting because the turmeric, like hopefully you can see, this mask really was the color of turmeric. So it was like this orangey, mustardy yellow shade. By the way, these all kind of have that typical like clay mask scent to them. They're not like fragranced. They just smell like dirt, like clay. This one was interesting though. The color of it was very strong, and actually it was a little bit stubborn to get off, and so I had to use my Clarisonic to get some of the really dry patches. It was probably because I left it on for like 20 minutes, so it was really dry and like ready to come off by the time that I got to the bathroom. And it actually stained my Clarisonic brush head. So there is a like turmeric colored tinge to my Clarisonic bristles right now, which is fine. I washed it up and I know that it's like clean, but it did stain those bristles. So I would imagine if you were to use like a white washcloth to remove this, that you might stain your washcloth. So maybe use like a darker washcloth when you're taking this mask off. So this one is supposed to be a brightening clay mask that helps to reduce the appearance of uneven skin tone and helps to minimize the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Vitamin C has antioxidant and anti-aging properties, which help support collagen health. I feel like with this one, that I would probably need to use it longer term to really kind of see those vitamin C benefits. You guys know that I love vitamin C products. I use them on like an every other day kind of basis. I alternate with my niacinamide. And I find great benefit from vitamin C myself personally. I find that it brightens my skin, makes my skin just feel and look great. So I continue to use it. I know that there's some talk or research out there about vitamin C not being effective when applied topically, but I notice a difference for me, so I continue to use it. But you know, definitely do your own research. But anyway, I did find after using this one that my skin was really nice and evenly toned. This does have kaolin clay and bentonite clay in it, so I mean, it acted a lot more like this charcoal mask in a way, and that, you know, I feel like it pulled out some excess oil. You know, when I took it off, my skin definitely felt smooth and just really nice and matte. Not overly dry. just like with this one. The first ingredient in this one is water, and they do have glycerin in here as well, but it's a little bit further down on the ingredient list. Nice overall. This one does contain natural fragrance oils. But once again, I don't know that I smell like fragrance oils at all. It just kind of smells like dirt. It smells like clay. So there's that one. And then the last one was the Firming Magnetic Clay Mask with Adzuki beans and spearmint. I will say this was probably my least favorite of the three, only because this gave me the same feeling on my skin that the Queen Helene Mint Julep Mask used to give me. Do you guys remember that one? That one kind of burned every time I put it on, and I had a slight like stinging burning reaction to this one. Now it went away within a couple of minutes. It wasn't like painful. It was just like, it's that like minty, like warming sensation on the skin, and I don't necessarily love that feeling. And this one was a little bit harder to remove afterwards because it really like dried down on my skin. This also has the kaolin clay, the bentonite clay. It has glycerin, the Adzuki bean. I've never heard of this bean. But there's spearmint leaf oil in here. So this was my least favorite of the three. Let me just say that. It wasn't terrible, but it just reminded me of like being a teenager and using the mint julep mask and having that feeling of like, oh, it burns at first. But then it goes away, and you know, when you take it off, you have that nice matte look to your skin because it removes the excess oils. But I don't know that I necessarily felt super firmed afterwards. Again, it's probably one of those masks where you'd have to use it multiple times to maybe see the firming benefits. But even at that, I don't think a mask would be what I would use personally to get firming benefits. I would be more apt to use like a serum or a facial oil or a moisturizer that had firming benefits to it. You're leaving that on your skin longer, and so, you know, those ingredients are able to absorb a little bit more and stay longer on your skin. But I mean, overall, not a bad mask. You know, it was just my least favorite of the three. So anyway, there is a Mask Monday from these guys right here from Derma E. A big thanks to Derma E for sending me their PR packages. It's super generous of them, and they definitely don't have to do that. But I do like being able to try a lot of their products. I think they're fantastic. And like I said, they're a great cruelty-free drugstore option. So for those of you that are on a tighter budget, check out what they have at Ulta. I will link the Derma E stuff at Ulta down below. They have a pretty decent selection. You'll find more on the Derma E website, and then I think also probably at Derm Store. But yeah, good stuff, great company. I'm gonna put these in my empties, so you'll see those there at the end of the month. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.